1. A certified arborist is mentoring a trainee in assessing soil compaction beneath an urban tree canopy. Which method should the arborist teach as most appropriate for quick field evaluation? A. Soil sieving. B. Penetrometer use. C. Core aeration. D. Tensiometer reading. 2. When developing a curriculum for teaching soil texture identification, which of the following instructional strategies best promotes adult learner engagement? A. PowerPoint lecture on soil types. B. Textbook readings on soil horizons. C. Hands-on ribbon test demonstrations. D. Assigned group soil classification essays. 3. While evaluating a site for poor tree health, an arborist notes yellowing leaves and stunted growth. Which soil-related factor is most likely responsible? A. Elevated light exposure. B. Phytophthora root rot. C. High bulk density. D. Wind desiccation. 4. Which of the following best describes the legal implication of failing to identify contaminated soil at a commercial arboriculture site? A. No liability unless advised in writing. B. Violation of local tree protection ordinance. C. Breach of duty under environmental compliance. D. OSHA citation for tool misuse. 5. In mentoring new arborist interns, how should feedback be delivered to improve soil sampling techniques? A. Only in written form after completion. B. Immediately and constructively during practice. C. Verbally and publicly to promote peer learning. D. After errors are reported by others. 6. A mature oak tree in a landscaped setting is declining despite proper irrigation. A soil test reveals a pH of 8.2. Which nutrient deficiency is most likely contributing? A. Nitrogen. B. Phosphorus. C. Iron. D. Calcium. 7. When planning a community training workshop on soil amendments, which approach best aligns with adult learning principles? A. Reading scientific journals on composting. B. Facilitating small group compost mixture experiments. C. Assigning mandatory quizzes after the lecture. D. Showing pre-recorded amendment application videos. 8. An arborist is contracted to improve tree growth in compacted soils. Which strategy is most appropriate for improving soil structure long-term? A. Surface mulching with inorganic gravel. B. Aeration and organic matter incorporation. C. Root pruning and fertilization. D. Deep watering during summer months. 9. Regulatory compliance for fertilizer application in urban areas typically includes restrictions based on A. Tree species. B. Soil color. C. Seasonal timing. D. Bark thickness. 10. During a staff training session, an arborist is demonstrating proper soil sample collection depth. What depth is generally recommended for assessing tree root zone fertility? A. 0 to 3 inches. B. 3 to 6 inches. C. 6 to 12 inches. D. 12 to 24 inches. 11. A common mistake in mentoring arborist trainees on soil testing is A. Encouraging independent analysis. B. Relying solely on visual soil inspections. C. Demonstrating correct sampling depth. D. Reviewing past soil test results. 12. Which soil property most directly affects nutrient availability for urban trees? A. Texture. B. Color. C. Compaction. D. pH. 13. In evaluating the impact of urban development on soil function, which of the following metrics is most important? A. Soil color. B. Soil compaction index. C. Leaf surface area. D. Bark moisture level. 14. What is the most effective communication strategy when reporting soil test results to a non-technical property owner? A. Using scientific terminology to enhance credibility. B. Sending laboratory results without interpretation. C. Translating results into practical care recommendations. D. Discussing soil chemistry formulas in detail. 15. A mentoring arborist notices a trainee failing to consider the water-holding capacity of clay soil. What action best supports the trainee's learning? A. Refer them to the soil chapter in the manual. B. Allow mistakes to guide their self-correction. C. Demonstrate contrasting textures with a water infiltration test. D. Assign a quiz on soil textures. 16. A tree's chlorosis is most likely caused by which soil condition? A. High organic matter. B. Sandy texture. C. Alkaline pH. D. Low porosity. 17. Which of the following scenarios demonstrates non-compliance with EPA soil pesticide application guidelines? A. Applying only during high wind periods. B. Mixing at site-specific recommended rates. C. Using certified applicator methods. D. Posting signs post-application. 18. For mentoring new arborists, which evaluation method best measures hands-on competence in soil management? A. Online multiple-choice quizzes. B. Observation during supervised soil testing. C. Self-reported skill surveys. D. Written soil science exams. 19. Which amendment is most effective for improving water infiltration in a loam soil? A. Peat moss. B. Gypsum. C. Clay particles. D. Wood ash. 20. What best describes the soil horizon where most fine roots are located? A. O horizon. B. A horizon. C. B horizon. D. C horizon. 21. What soil management strategy is best for reducing runoff in sloped urban landscapes? A. Increasing sand content. B. Installing subsurface irrigation. C. Applying heavy fertilizer. D. Mulching with organic matter. 22. Which approach most effectively ensures regulatory compliance when applying lime to acidic soils? A. Estimating dosage by soil color. B. Using published generic application rates. C. Conducting a lab-based pH test before application. D. Applying every 6 months regardless of conditions. 23. During an arborist training session, which question best promotes critical thinking about soil nutrient cycles? A. What is the definition of cation exchange? B. Why do clay soils retain more nutrients than sand? C. What is nitrogen? D. What fertilizer has potassium? 24. A property owner insists on fertilizing during a drought. What is the arborist's best response? A. Apply only slow-release nitrogen. B. Delay fertilization until adequate moisture returns. C. Apply extra water to compensate. D. Use foliar sprays to bypass soil. 25. Which technique is most appropriate for alleviating a compacted tree lawn in a high-traffic area? A. Fertilizing with nitrogen-rich compounds. B. Vertical mulching and core aeration. C. Pruning lower branches. D. Irrigating during peak heat. 26. An arborist teaches trainees to identify hydric soils in wetland-adjacent zones. What is the most reliable field indicator? A. Reddish-brown color. B. High sand content. C. Sulfur smell and gray coloration. D. Loose granular texture. 27. A newly planted tree in poor draining soil develops root rot. What soil management adjustment is most appropriate? A. Increase watering frequency. B. Add sand to backfill. C. Raise planting elevation with berms. D. Apply a nitrogen fertilizer. 28. When mentoring a new hire on pH testing, which of the following instructional approaches is most aligned with adult learning? A. Giving a pre-recorded tutorial video. B. Providing hands-on use of soil pH kits. C. Handing out printed instructions. D. Quizzing on acid-base chemistry. 29. Which communication method is most effective when training landscapers on proper mulch depth to improve soil moisture retention? A. Sending a mulch safety memo. B. Demonstrating depth in a field setting. C. Sharing a published mulch guideline. D. Emailing a product label. 30. During a site consultation, a homeowner claims tree roots are breaking sidewalks. Which soil-related factor should be assessed first? A. Soil moisture deficit. B. Subsurface root structure and compaction. C. Bark damage. D. Wind direction. 31. A tree care company is revising its soil testing protocols to align with state regulations. What step ensures regulatory compliance? A. Skipping micronutrient analysis. B. Sending composite samples to a certified lab. C. Using only on-site rapid test kits. D. Conducting testing after fertilization. 32. When teaching interns about soil water movement, which concept best explains slower drainage in clay soils? A. Gravitational pull. B. Cohesion and adhesion in micropores. C. Macropore dominance. D. Capillary repellence. 33. Which mentoring strategy best supports a trainee struggling with interpreting soil texture triangles? A. Have them memorize triangle values. B. Provide peer-to-peer coaching with examples. C. Repeat lecture slides until understood. D. Assign a written report on soil classes. 34. Which soil factor is most critical when planning tree planting in a compacted urban park? A. Soil color. B. Microbial diversity. C. Soil bulk density. D. Subsoil salinity. 35. What is the most reliable method for reducing surface soil erosion around tree roots in a sloped residential area? A. Installing sod over the area. B. Applying wood chips as mulch. C. Increasing irrigation flow. D. Adding topsoil only. 36. While evaluating a tree's decline, a soil test indicates extremely low cation exchange capacity (CEC). What soil type is most likely present? A. Clay. B. Sandy. C. Silt loam. D. Peat. 37. Which of the following is a key reason for conducting seasonal soil tests in arboriculture management? A. Determine tree species compatibility. B. Monitor pest populations. C. Track changes in soil nutrient levels. D. Predict flowering cycles. 38. An arborist trainer is assessing how well students can apply soil compaction data. What method best measures applied knowledge? A. Multiple choice test. B. Group debate on soil impacts. C. Field-based soil penetrometer demonstration. D. Research paper on soil physics. 39. Which situation most appropriately requires the application of sulfur to soil? A. Increasing water infiltration. B. Enhancing root aeration. C. Lowering high soil pH. D. Raising nitrogen levels. 40. What should an arborist communicate to a city council when recommending biochar as a soil amendment? A. It instantly eliminates all pathogens. B. It replaces irrigation needs. C. It improves long-term soil structure and microbial activity. D. It is a substitute for mulching. 41. Which mentoring approach best fosters independent decision-making in soil amendment selection? A. Giving pre-written recommendations. B. Guiding through comparison of field test results. C. Memorizing amendment application rates. D. Following a single amendment strategy. 42. During a root excavation, you find poor lateral root development. What soil condition is most likely the cause? A. High phosphorus availability. B. Excessive organic matter. C. Compacted subsoil. D. Sandy loam texture. 43. A tree suffers from nutrient toxicity. Which soil parameter should be analyzed first? A. Soil moisture. B. Soil color. C. Cation exchange capacity. D. Electrical conductivity. 44. An arborist is teaching new hires about soil sampling tools. Which tool is most appropriate for collecting uniform samples at various depths? A. Soil knife. B. Soil auger. C. Root hook. D. Chainsaw. 45. When evaluating soil texture as part of site assessment, which hands-on test is best for quick field estimation? A. Percolation test. B. Ribbon test. C. Penetrometer pressure. D. Density weighing. 46. Which amendment is best suited for reducing sodium toxicity in clay soils? A. Lime. B. Sand. C. Gypsum. D. Compost. 47. What is the ideal mulch depth to improve soil structure and moisture retention in urban tree planting sites? A. 0.5 inch. B. 1 inch. C. 2 to 4 inches. D. 6 to 8 inches. 48. What soil property is primarily influenced by the organic matter content? A. Soil depth. B. Soil texture. C. Water retention and nutrient holding capacity. D. Surface runoff. 49. A soil test indicates high soluble salts near a street tree. What is the most likely source? A. Pet waste. B. Leaf litter. C. De-icing salts from winter maintenance. D. Fungal infections. 50. Which instructional approach best supports adult learners in mastering soil sample interpretation? A. Repetitive slide lectures. B. Guided peer collaboration using real test data. C. Isolated textbook exercises. D. Standardized testing without discussion. 51. Which process is most directly responsible for soil acidification over time under forested conditions? A. Irrigation runoff. B. Fertilizer application. C. Organic matter decomposition. D. Compaction by heavy equipment. 52. When mentoring on regulatory compliance, which scenario demonstrates appropriate fertilizer storage? A. Storing near an irrigation valve. B. Placing on a gravel surface with no cover. C. Storing in a secured, weatherproof container. D. Keeping in an open, shaded trailer. 53. A site with poor drainage shows signs of oxygen deprivation in roots. What is the likely outcome? A. Increased canopy growth. B. Root dieback and susceptibility to pathogens. C. Accelerated leaf color change. D. Stronger root anchorage. 54. Which method is best for assessing vertical root development in soil with a hardpan layer? A. Soil texturing by hand. B. Plant vigor observation. C. Soil profile trenching. D. Surface mulching depth. 55. What is the most suitable way to train municipal crews in soil moisture sensor use? A. Reading product manuals independently. B. Watching training videos with no feedback. C. Hands-on installation with instructor-led calibration. D. Assigning online certification only. 56. Which tree planting adjustment best supports healthy soil function in compacted clay sites? A. Plant deeper than the root flare. B. Add fertilizer to the planting hole. C. Use wide, shallow planting with soil amendments. D. Increase canopy pruning post-planting. 57. In a mentoring session, which of the following questions best stimulates discussion on nutrient leaching? A. What is leaching? B. Why is nitrogen more prone to leaching than phosphorus? C. Name 3 mobile nutrients. D. Define soil porosity. 58. When conducting a soil respiration test, what are you measuring? A. CO2 emissions from microbial activity. B. Nitrogen content. C. Soil pH balance. D. Particle size distribution. 59. What type of mulch is most effective for improving biological soil activity around landscape trees? A. Plastic sheeting. B. Shredded hardwood mulch. C. Crushed stone. D. Pine straw over landscape fabric. 60. In teaching about soil salinity hazards, which visual symptom on trees is most likely observed? A. Cankers. B. Wilting. C. Leaf tip burn and marginal necrosis. D. Fungal mats at the base. 61. A tree exhibits poor growth despite regular watering and fertilization. A soil test reveals low microbial activity. What is the best corrective action? A. Add synthetic fertilizer. B. Apply a fungicide. C. Incorporate composted organic matter. D. Increase irrigation frequency. 62. Which soil condition is most likely to cause phosphorus fixation, making it unavailable to trees? A. Neutral pH and sandy texture. B. High organic matter. C. High pH and calcareous soil. D. Low clay content. 63. A trainee arborist is confused about the impact of mulch on soil temperature. What hands-on activity best demonstrates this concept? A. Measuring mulch depth with rulers. B. Comparing soil temperatures with and without mulch over time. C. Reading mulch guidelines. D. Watching a thermal imaging video. 64. Which soil component is primarily responsible for nutrient retention in loamy soils? A. Sand particles. B. Silt particles. C. Organic matter and clay. D. Air pores. 65. When planning tree planting in a coastal region, what soil concern should arborists prioritize? A. Frost heave. B. Salt accumulation. C. Leaf scorch. D. Bark exposure. 66. A tree in a compacted urban lawn shows leaf scorch and early defoliation. What soil correction is most appropriate? A. Surface fertilization. B. Deep watering. C. Vertical mulching. D. Pruning canopy branches. 67. What is the primary reason for using a composite soil sample in arborist practice? A. To avoid identifying nutrient variability. B. To provide a representative analysis of an area. C. To save money on lab fees. D. To measure soil texture changes. 68. A mentoring arborist wants to reinforce correct pH adjustment practices. What exercise is most effective? A. Memorizing ideal pH ranges for trees. B. Demonstrating lime and sulfur applications with pre- and post-pH testing. C. Reading a soil pH table aloud. D. Assigning a worksheet on nutrient solubility. 69. Which action violates best practices when using compost as a soil amendment? A. Applying compost in thin layers. B. Using compost with stable organic matter. C. Mixing unfinished compost directly into planting holes. D. Checking compost maturity before use. 70. When teaching soil nutrient cycling, which analogy is most effective for adult learners? A. A soil test report. B. A visual diagram of nutrient flow. C. Comparing soil to a financial budget with deposits and withdrawals. D. Reciting chemical equations. Arborist Soil Science and Management Test. The Arborist Soil Science and Management Test is a specialized assessment designed to evaluate a candidate's in-depth knowledge and practical skills in managing soils to support tree health and urban forestry objectives. It focuses on core principles such as soil composition, structure, fertility, pH, compaction, water management, and nutrient cycling. Candidates must demonstrate the ability to analyze soil conditions, interpret test results, recommend appropriate amendments, and apply best practices in soil conservation and remediation. The test also assesses regulatory compliance, communication with stakeholders, mentoring of junior staff, and curriculum development for soil management training. This exam ensures that certified arborists can make informed, science-based decisions to optimize root zone environments and enhance long-term tree vitality in diverse settings. Here are the top 5 beneficial uses of the sample exam. 1. Enhances diagnostic accuracy. The test equips arborists with the skills to accurately diagnose soil-related tree health issues, including nutrient deficiencies, compaction, and drainage problems, enabling targeted and effective treatments. 2. Supports regulatory compliance. It ensures arborists understand soil management regulations and standards, reducing the risk of environmental violations and promoting sustainable land stewardship. 3. Improves professional credibility. Passing the test demonstrates a high level of competence, reinforcing an arborist's reputation and increasing trust among clients, municipalities, and environmental agencies. 4. Strengthens mentoring capabilities. Certified arborists gain skills to effectively mentor and train less experienced staff in proper soil evaluation and management techniques. 5. Informs curriculum development. The test fosters the ability to design and deliver soil science training programs that align with industry standards and adult learning principles.